I'm telling you.
We are ready.
Are we ready?
We ready.
Y'all listen to the Lavish and Coco podcast. Y'all got in right before I started fussing because I was finna start fussing. But I said I'm gonna get that up because it's a little stressful sometimes trying to wrangle this young brother in because you know how you have a baby in the house and soon as you take their diaper off, they just take off running butt naked. Or when you get them out the bathtub, or when you take them outside and they just take off running, you have to wrangle them back in. I had to do Lavish like that sometimes because he'd be ready to take off running and tell everything, and it has to be timely, sir. You just can't tell everything because you don't know what the situation is, and you finna tell something and you don't know.
Coco, what am I about to tell?
I don't know, but
I'm just trying to figure out what am I about to tell.
I don't know what
I ain't got nothing to tell.
I don't know. My microphone sounded a little hollow. Ain't no bottom on it.
Ain't no bottom on it?
Ain't no bottom. There we go. Okay.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, let's do this. Lavish and Coco podcast. I am Coco and that is Lavish. We need y'all to like us, share us, and subscribe to us. We really need y'all to like us and share us because I know we said we was going to buy some people some lunch. But you got to like us and share us.
We've been waiting to get them to lunch. We just ain't been knowing who to get the lunch for.
I know, but they ain't been liking us and sharing us. So here's the thing. If they ain't liking us and sharing us, then we don't know who to buy lunch for.
We don't know who to buy lunch for.
Yes. So, we want to cash app you $7 to get you a sandwich. But we know lunch costs more than that. But we do want to buy some lunches. But y'all got to like us and share us and all that stuff like that. So that's what it is. And also, if you got a business and you seriously want to advertise your business, you need to reach out to us, DM us, and all that stuff like that. Lavish, the funny thing about life is, let me move my mic. The funny thing about life is people don't respect you until everybody else starts to respect you
and see the value in you.
Yeah, and I don't want to say all, but in your growing stages and in your infantile stages and in that stage, when you trying to get your balance and you trying to get your leverage and you trying to get things going and trying to get things off the ground, people see you, but they don't see you. They sort of, I see what you're doing over there, yeah. But then when they look back and blink and you done got some footing and you able to stand up on your own and move forward and all that stuff, then it becomes a totally different thing. It becomes a totally different dynamic. So we not really like, I don't know what the word is. I feel like, and it's not just us, because I see these memes on social media all the time. Support your people's business and all that stuff like that. Yeah. Support your business. Your girl's starting a beauty salon, or they doing this, or they doing that, or whatever. And that's really, really important in our culture because we need to do that. Like, we really, really, really need to do that. I don't think we understand the value of having a good, healthy relationship. I don't think we understand that. And then the other part is, don't burn your people out with pettiness.
Go ahead and say it.
Respect your people. Respect their process. So if you got a friend that's starting a business, and let's say your friend opening up a restaurant, and you go in there and, they getting stuff off the ground. They starting a restaurant, they starting a business or whatever. Don't go in there expecting a hookup. Go in there with the same energy that you have when you go to other restaurants. If you know you going to a high-end restaurant or whatever you going to, and 2 meals going to come to $100, go into your friend's business with that same energy, because I hear y'all in the street. Oh yeah, you over there. Oh, that's my boy. Yeah, I heard you was at so-and-so. They're my people. Well, then act like they your people. Act like they mean something to you. Because then once they start to grow and move and they move different or whatever, then you want to double back and say they're acting funny. They not acting funny. Growth is a very uncomfortable process. It's costly, it's time consuming, it requires a lot of work and energy and all of that. And y'all just feel, some of y'all feel real entitled to the process. Like, let me say this. I filter people. Like, you know how many people reach out to me and I want to talk to Lavish. I said, okay. About what? So I'm figuring like this. I don't know all your business because you don't know all my business. But if it ain't car related, bike related, like that, anything else is a waste of time. So I'm like, well, about what? See, I think I went to school with him. Oh, what elementary school did he go to? I'm like, I don't know. How you doing a show with him and you don't know what elementary school? What elementary school did you go to? I went to quite a few. I done filtered that whole conversation because I'm not finna text you and call you. I have people say, call Lavish for me right now. I'm not. Oh, I want to ask him a question. Men, women, everybody. I think sometimes we have to be filters for people because sometimes people really don't want nothing.
They don't want nothing. They just want a little attention.
I know, and
they
then
just want a little attention.
When you give them attention, you know, they like, okay, yeah, because like my brother-in-law, when he came to my birthday party, and you know, my brother-in-law is a real class act. He said, "Is Lavish here yet?" I said, "No, he ain't here yet." He said, "Okay, I want to meet him." When you came in, he walked up to you. "Hey, man, how you doing? I done heard a lot about you. I just want to meet you." Simple. And I know why he wanted to meet you because he into cars and motorcycles too.
Yeah, so you know the car guys, it's a connection right there.
I know.
It's a connection.
I know. So people, we have to support our people. We have to support our sisters that do hair and our brothers that do hair and our designers and our people that are in the industry and all of those things. And you have to really respect the people that support you. I got a real quick story, then I'm gonna let you go and do your thing. Okay. So, during the pandemic, right before the pandemic, I know some people that started a business, and they did very, very well. Like in the course of like 2.5 years, they made like $500,000.
That's pretty good.
It was very good, and they utilized all the people that were in their circle. So when they had their open house or whatever they did a virtual open house. And if you wanted to come in, you could come in or whatever. And a lot of people supported them. And in the process, they was like, hey, if y'all ever need us, because, you know, they provide a particular service, and I ain't going to really get into that. If y'all ever need us, let us know, and blah, 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 blah. So last year, I had reached out to them and I said, hey, I got a couple people that are coming out of treatment for substance abuse. I said, and, you know, they need a job. They can only work X amount of hours a day, 3 or 4 days a week, and blah, blah, blah. And they really trying to get themselves together. Dig. Life is a funny animal. I sent them to them. They was dressed nice. They went through the interview process and everything. Neither one of those people that I sent to them got hired. So fast forward, because God don't like ugly. The wife reached out to me maybe about 5 or 6 months ago, and she was like, I just called you because you my friend and you always give great advice or whatever. They had got into some trouble. Some money troubles. Okay. Like real money troubles. For stuff that I didn't know nothing about. She said, if you get a call, I said, no, I don't even like the way this conversation going. no, listen, I'm going to have to jump on a plane and come to where you at to talk to you. Because when you talking about if I get a call, I'm way past if I get a call or somebody knock on my door or somebody we way past that. I say that to say you have to be very mindful of how you treat people in the process. People are not disposable. They are not just there for your use, and you just can't you can move on. I'm not saying you got to go back to the hood and prove that you committed to the hood and you the hood mayor and all that stuff. I'm not saying that because people, sometimes you try to go back to where you started. People say, oh, you act like you don't know where you come from. Sometimes you go back where you come from and get busted in your head. Sometimes you can't go back to the old neighborhood. You can't go back to where you grew up. You can't go back. But you always have to be aware and be humble. That's all I'm saying. How you doing, Mr. Lavish?
Oh, I'm doing all right. I'm doing great.
I'm having a good
complain.
day. You got some chicken wings?
I definitely need some.
You got to eat. You ain't ate today?
All right, listen. I've been on the move. I haven't ate.
Oh, man.
I have not ate. It's noon. A good lunch.
You know,
would definitely be,
I was going to say, hey, if y'all, but I ain't going to even put it out there because all them sea boogers will tap in. You can come eat with me, Mr. Lavish. And I had really turned into the big sister when it comes to you. And I that was not who I wanted to be. I did not want to be that big sister that when women be talking to you, I'd be looking at them like, what the hell? I don't want to be her. I did not want to be her.
You didn't want to be her.
I did not. So you got to tell people because you had a limit. Your week starting last Wednesday.
Yeah, was it Wednesday or Tuesday?
Was,
yeah, Wednesday.
Listen, you got to tell them about that. I'm going to sit back and let you tell them.
Oh, man. Okay, so listen. Because of Coco, I got to put it out there, No, I got to put it out there. I went down to the radio station, and I was able to kick it with Mason. Okay, if y'all know who Mason is, Mason in the morning, the morning show. Listen. It was pretty cool going down there, actually meeting this individual. And Mason's been around for a long time. Mm-hmm. I grew up listening to him in the morning on my way to school, just as well as listening to you. But I was listening to Mason even before you.
Absolutely.
And actually,
so was I. I don't know. I think Mason a Highlander because I was listening to Mason when I was in high school. Go ahead.
And to actually kick it with him and meet him. And not only that, to have him say he noticed Lavish from our podcast, man, I got the attention of Mason. You got a radio personality that as soon as he get off the radio, I'm sure he has no plans to want to see anything radio related. And to be able to see and watch a podcast with me, I'm like, holy moly.
I got excited too. Because like you said, his schedule is, because when he leave the radio station, he with the Pistons. He just got back from Paris being with the Pistons and he do commercials and all that stuff. So when he said, because I had sent him all the information about the podcast, because that's my soul brother. That's my guy. I had sent him the information, but I didn't expect him to watch it in that short window of time. So when I got there, he said, oh, yeah, so sister, I checked out I said, what? So when he told you, I had to act cool like, I knew he was going to watch it anyway. I had the George Jefferson chest like, what?
Yeah.
But yeah, that means a lot.
Man, yeah, that was cool, man, to kick it with Angie Starr, to network, talk to people and build these relationships is great. It's great. And then before that, to go to the news station behind the scenes, to go to the news station, talk to the anchors, see how the news is produced, to get a close look, close hands on, to see the way things operate and function. It was great. I had a ball.
I think you got hired. So let me say this: the thing that I really sit back, and this adds to the whole big sister energy. Whenever we get somewhere, it don't matter where it is, Lavish gonna disappear, and not like in a bad way. Lavish gonna disappear. When we was at the TV station doing the stuff, he left and came back. I think you came back with one of the anchors, and then you left and came back with somebody else. Then you left and came back with a producer. Then they took Lavish and Mike Jones, who does a lot of photo work, and he on a podcast called Just Our Opinion podcast. But they took Lavish and Mike into this room with all this equipment.
Oh,
you gotta please, because I'm sitting there like, well, where'd they go?
All of the boards, the switchers, And I mean, it's so complicated but so simple at the same time, if that makes sense.
That's because you're
so
passionate about it.
Complicated but simple. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it was just a great experience to have these doors open up for me. To walk in places that I dreamed of as a kid and wondered how things functioned, wonder how things worked, and to be able to be there and have people say, Lavish. Like the one guy came out.
I almost started crying. Wait a minute. Hold on. Shit. Wait a minute. Wait. Okay, hold on. Oh, wait. I'm real soft moment there. Okay. Ooh, all right, go ahead.
Yeah, you know, when you out and somebody come out and they're like, Lavish, I remember you. And Lavish this. It's just showing me that, hey, I'm affected and I'm reaching somebody somewhere that I'm not even paying attention to, that's paying attention to me.
Yeah. But I think that's a part of growth in life. Y'all listen to the Lavish and Coco podcast. Make sure you like us and share us and follow us or whatever. I think that's a part of the process, because when you're not this lavish and when you're not the bike lavish, when you out in the street and you working and you doing and you towing and you moving or whatever, people still watch how you move. So if you show up, if it's an accident or something that didn't happen on 696 and the news people show up or whatever and you're there, people pay attention to how you move.
Correct.
And we don't think that people watching us, but people watch us. People remember how you made them feel, how you treated them, the conversation that you had. Were you cordial? Were you pleasant? Were you easy to work with? Did you respect their space? People remember all those things. And the guy came out, hey, I remember you. And y'all should see the smile that come up on Lavish's face like he about 5 years old and he done got an extra cookie. And I be sitting there like, yeah, that's my little brother right there. Y'all better not fuck with me. I'm hurt. I don't want to be hurt. I'm like, yeah, but that's how it is. So it's about how you treat people and how you act. And some of y'all folks out here, yeah, we got to do better. we just got to we got to do better. Everything can't go on social media. In 2023, we still arguing on social media. And so let me ask you a question. I got a question for you. And this is, okay, so I need you to be honest. Growing up,
okay,
as a black man, were you hugged a lot growing up? Were you shown a lot of affection growing up as a black man in the community, in the city, and all that stuff? Did you get a lot of hugs and embraces and that kind of, for women and men?
I'm gonna say no. I mean, I was outside of my mother and my grandmother. No. And I think even with my mother and my grandmother, being a boy around your friends, you were like, stop.
Yeah.
You're embarrassing me.
Yeah.
And that was just the gist of it.
Okay.
I think when I passed a certain age, it was more so no. But the way that I do my kids now, I didn't get it that when I was.
So you hug them now?
Yeah, I'm always hugging my kids. I'm always telling my kids I love you, and I didn't get that, but I don't think it was just me that didn't get that.
Yeah.
It was everyone that
across
was
the
around. We didn't get that.
Yeah,
coming up didn't mean that we wasn't loved. It's just that I grew up where we didn't show a lot of affection, and we didn't get a lot of affection shown back to us. And when we did see it from households that have both parents, it was so foreign to us that we'll laugh at it.
It looked strange.
Yeah.
It looked strange. And now there were a lot of women as a black woman from the 60s. We didn't get a lot of hugs. I didn't get a lot of hugs, and you know, there were people that tried to hug me because I was fat and squishy and my titties were soft. And I'm just gonna call a thing. Now let me just.
They were trying to cop a feel.
They listen. They was.
They were trying.
You know, they hug you and then they take their elbows and kind of do this on your boobs on the side and all that old bull crap. And we didn't get a lot of it either. And coming from whenever we say the word single parent, it always has a negative twist, a negative connotation to it. But coming from a single parent household where my mother worked and all that stuff like that, I was shown more affection from my father than from my mother.
Okay.
And I think because my mother was not shown a lot of affection, although she was married and a couple times and all that stuff like that, but affection and those things are totally separate from intimacy and all of that stuff. So I didn't see it, but I wanted it. I kind of craved it. And when I got older and stuff, my friends that I hung out with, we were huggers. And I love you, child. I love you too, nigga. And then it went from that. Now that we're older, when I end a conversation, I'd be like, girl, I love you. They'd be like, girl, I love you too. No matter what the conversation could be, we finna go and do some of the craziest stuff, but it ends with, I love you.
Right.
And it's when we see each other. And it was hard when the pandemic hit because you want to hug your people. So it's just an interesting thing how we as a group of people, and I'm not picking on us, but in other cultures, you do see them hug and kiss each other on the cheek and all of that stuff like that. And I think we need to do that. And the thing that it's interesting to me, Michael B. Jordan, and I'm oh my goodness, Michael B. Jordan and the guy that's in the movie Creed with him. It's a few pictures of them on social media where they're hugging, and there's one picture where Michael B. Jordan got holding the guy's head or whatever, and people automatically, oh, that's gay, that's gay. Listen, if you don't see something and it's not normal in your world, we immediately want to give it a tag. Why can't it just be an exchange of, brother, I love you, between two men? And like you said, it wasn't something that you saw and it wasn't normal in your world. So now that you older and you say you give it to your sons, does it feel awkward? No, don't feel awkward when you give it to your children, right?
No, not at all.
But if you see somebody that you haven't seen in a while, and y'all do a lot of hugging in the bike world too.
Y'all I'm gonna comment.
Yeah, no, please do. I slid that right in.
It's funny. It's really funny for me.
Okay.
For me, growing up, a lot of hugs you didn't get.
Right.
I hugged a lot of women.
Of course.
That I liked. Crushed on, things of that nature. That was normal to, hug up on a girl. You didn't really hug up on guys like that, like how they do now, how they give you the dad, pat you on the back. I remember we used to give a dad and shoulder, and it went like that, and then they started embracing. But when we talk about hugging, even in the bike world, me personally, I've never been that type of guy that liked none of that kind of stuff.
Okay.
One, I wasn't used to it.
Okay.
And I just didn't like it because it was uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable for me. So it took a lot of getting used to for me. And even still to this day, I still be like, man, God dang. So I don't be trying to hug up on nobody.
So and this is funny, but this is so deep at the same time, because do you feel like if you see one of your bike brothers, and I know you don't mind when the bike sisters do it, but when
I mind.
Do you?
I mind.
Really?
I don't want you on me.
I don't mean in a bad way, but
I still don't want you on.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. When you get hugged by one of your bike brothers, because I asked several young men this question, and when you get hugged by one of your bike brothers, do you feel vulnerable? And not vulnerable in a sexual way, but do you feel like, oh.
No, I feel like, man, can you let me go?
Okay.
So here's the thing. You got guys, you see each other, hey, man, what's happening?
Right.
Cool. Keep
right.
moving.
Right.
Finish talking. I get, emotional times, funerals,
right.
Personal situations, a guy, he just lock on to you.
Right.
He just, because it's like, and you get it because you can feel that. Right. You can feel that energy. You can feel that, man. I'm hurt energy.
Got you.
And that's cool. Then you got other guys, just like handshakes, man. I don't know what handshake to give to a person now. I really don't. And it screws me up because I be in the hood doing the hood shake. Then when I'm in the professional world, I have to catch myself because the professional guy's like, hey, man, what are you doing? Because here it go. Shake your hand.
I know.
Professional. But then I got to go like this, boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, okay. Then I got the one guy that want to do this, do that. Did he want to do all that?
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, God, dog. Then when you talk about the hugging, you got the one guy that got to see you, and he got to, dog, man, you ain't gonna believe it. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, I'm trying.
Yeah.
Dog. Yeah. All right, okay. Then I'm letting myself.
He holding you like a silverback.
Hold me. Then you got the guy that they at the bar. You sitting there. I could be kicking it with you. Then he turn around, Lavish, boom. He done bum rushed me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dog. All right. And he got to tell you, oh, man. And I'm like, dude, you all spitting in my ear, man. Come on, dog. Chill out, man. So, one, I really don't like because I don't really like people on me.
Okay.
I just go with the flow because it's like the thing to do.
All right.
And it's like, okay, I don't want to offend nobody, but sometimes I gotta, all right, man, hey, man, it's all good, man. Back up off me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But overall, it's still
a learning process.
Which when I do it with my children, that's all they know.
Okay.
So they grew up knowing that, whereas me, I didn't grow up knowing that.
And that's, I'm glad that you give your children that, because as I see young people, like for me, my grandson was the men that were instrumental in his growth process, his pops, his uncle, and all that stuff like that. They huggers. And they huggers because, you done been through a couple things, so you realize that this hug means something. But it is a sense of vulnerability in that hug. Like when you hug somebody, depending on what the situation is, like when I hug people, sometimes I've literally had people hug me and I could feel their weight just collapse in my arms. Like, you don't know how much I needed this hug from you.
Right.
I really needed this hug. I really, really needed this.
And like when you come down, when you talk about how you hug, you felt them, it's some women I don't even like to hug.
Why? Because
they're gonna feel me.
You sound like you about, okay, let me tell you what that remind me of. When I looked at your eyes, you had that glint of a little boy. For real. Remember, and I know I know this is gonna bring you back. Remember your grandmother had friends and they would hug you. And you remember their scent in your nose.
Yeah, I'm like, man, this lady smell.
So for the ones that didn't smell, but the one that had a good smell, the ladies that hug you, come here, boy, and she hugged you, and you remember the smell of her perfume. And whenever she would come around, it was something comfortable about that smell.
No, so with me, because I'm a grandparent's child,
okay,
even though my mother was there, my grandparents' friends were already old.
Right.
So it was the daughters.
Ah, okay.
They were older though.
Okay.
But I wanted to hug them.
Okay.
So,
okay.
I'm a little boy. I'm like,
right.
Man, I want to hug them. And I remember being that kid and I lay my head on their chest. I knew what I was doing.
Okay. But it was comforting.
It was comforting.
And you remember the smells?
I remember the smell.
So
Then I got older.
So I don't need to know
and
that.
legal.
Okay. So
and cute to him.
Yeah, you did.
All of that.
Oh, look at little Lavish.
Yeah.
And this the part that get creepy. Oh, you grown now, Lavish, huh? How old are you?
Yeah.
19?
I'm legal.
I'm 35.
That's all right. Yeah, so it's really funny because now sometimes like someone
I don't even need to know. Y'all listen to the Lavish and Coco podcast. Make sure you like us, follow us, share us, and subscribe to us. We also are welcoming advertisers to advertise on the show and all that stuff like that. We doing that.
Yeah,
that's
you ever get one of your friends' parents, you be hearing your friends talk about, man, she getting on my nerves. In the back of my mind, you like, I'm like, she getting on my nerves too. You know
I think growing up, it was that person that you had a crush or whatever on, or that smell or whatever. Because I remember certain male smells as I've gotten older. Like, I remember my father when he was getting ready to go somewhere, and he would be shaving in the bathroom. He had a radio on, or he had the hi-fi on, and he took that butter knife and that cup with that magic shave. You know the smell. Mm-hmm. And then made the magic shave, and he's shaving. And then after he shaved, he put the aftershave on and all of that. As I got older and started dating or whatever, that smell would come back in my head when I would watch a guy that I was dating getting dressed. And I would be sitting there watching him getting dressed, sitting on the tub like a little kid.
You was watching the guy get dressed while sitting on the tub.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure this out. How old were you, Coco?
I was grown.
Okay. I just asked.
No, I was grown. I'm talking about, in my 20s or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I remember the process, and in my head, that's the only connection that I had was my father getting dressed and shaving and all that. So when I dated a guy and they would be getting dressed, I'd be like, okay. So he don't do the magic shave, but he is shaving. Okay. And he doing that. All right. Oh, okay. It was a process. Like, my father would clip his fingernails and clean his nails and all that stuff, and clip his nose hairs or whatever. So me growing up, and as I got grown, 20, 25, 30, 35, whatever, I looked at that. And even now, well, I ain't dated in a while, but that's important to me. Like, what is your hygiene process when you getting ready to go out? Like, if a guy told me, I'm gonna meet you there, and I'm like, you gonna shave or whatever? And I'm listen, I know we gonna show up nice, but that's just a memory for me.
Okay.
It ain't nothing creepy. It's just we had those memories and things that stick out in our head, like going to church, and you at church, and you upstairs at church, and they in the basement frying chicken and pound cake and lemonade, and they would fry that chicken, and it'd be that leg. And we talked about this Saturday night, didn't we?
Yeah. I remember me personally being a kid. I remember I used to want to, I used to help, the ladies. I was a kid, right? So they used to come out in their pajamas, and they used to come out in a blouse.
Okay.
Because that's what, the grown-ups did.
Yeah.
And while all the other kids would be playing, I would be down there because I'm grown. I think I'm grown because I come from, I'm around grown people all the time. Yeah. So while they sitting over there, I'm looking. Now, lady got a blouse on.
I know. She
out there trying to show me how she want me to dig her garden up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, can you show me that again? So show me that again. See the so when she shows me that, she's bending down. They got them little flip-flop house shoes on back there.
I know.
And she has no brassiere on.
I know.
And I'm just sitting there like,
yeah. Yeah. But
I remember those memories.
Of course you do.
Yeah, that was what I was a kid while all the other kids was playing. I was around there 12 years old wearing cologne.
You had
my grandfather wore it.
Oh yeah, so you was grown.
So that's what I did. It's like my grandfather, he wore watches.
Yeah.
So when I was a kid, I just wanted to have a lot of watches because you mimic what you see.
Absolutely.
And for me, not having a lot of children my age to play with and having to be around grown folks all the time, you flow right into that kind of stuff. So the conversation that you have with kids is kind of based off of what you hear
in the house.
with the grown-ups and everything like that.
Mm-hmm. And it affects you, like you said about the watch. My grandfather always wore watches, and he used to say, and I had to get out of this mindset. He used to say, a man that don't have no watch on don't have nothing to do. He ain't got nowhere to go, and he has no respect for time. So I'm 5 or 6 when my grandfather would say that, because my grandfather had his church watch, and he had his other watch. So the church watch was in a box. Well, both of them was in a box, but the church watch was in a box on the dresser and all of that. And it had the little thing in the middle so it wouldn't lose its shape. And then his everyday watch was his everyday watch. But he would always say, a man that don't wear no watch ain't got nothing to do. He ain't got nowhere to go and all that. So I would always look at that when I would talk to a guy or whatever. And men wear their watches on the left hand. So people always say, why do you wear your watch on your left hand? I say, I've always worn my watch on my left hand because I do so much stuff with my right hand. I ding it and bing it and all that stuff like that, even holding the microphone. So anyway, as I got older.
Which microphone, Coco?
The one I use on stage.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Slick ass.
I'm just asking.
Mm-hmm. So as I got older and I would see men that didn't have a watch on, I'm like, he ain't got no watch on. But I got to understand, we got phones now. We got cell phones now.
I still wear a watch.
I know.
The difference with the watch now is just don't work. At the time, just ain't right.
But it's becoming normal. And now a lot of cats wear watches because it's a statement. So when I see a lot of guys with $200,000-$300,000 watches on or whatever, however much the watch costs, it's not to keep time. It's a statement. How much the AP costs.
Got it. Yeah.
It's a statement. So I don't know. Sometimes we have to reboot ourselves. And then sometimes we have to understand a lot of stuff that go on in our head. Because I still like a good hug. I like a good old hug from a nice man. A nice man. He kind of,
All right, well, y'all men out there listening, she likes a nice tight hug. Tyrell Gladney said that he'll give you a hug without trying to cop a feel.
Who?
He one of your Highland Park people, I believe.
Okay, what up, Tyrell? You know what I learned last week when I did Fox 2? I'm tall.
Very.
Don't do that. Excuse me. No. So I've known that I am a woman of size. I've known that all my life. When my dad would take me shopping, and we had to go in the stores, and you know, I'm a big girl. I got big feet, big hands. My dad, and it's funny because I think my mother would get frustrated with me when we had to go shopping. So my father took me. He took me to get my bras, and then the women would be flirting with him because him and my mother wasn't together, and the women be flirting with him. And I would get the best service because they was flirting with my daddy because my daddy was a nice looking guy. And he worked for the government and he was a preacher. So anyway, I watched the footage from when we did the Fox 2 piece for the Black Spirit's Legacy.
Right.
And I said, you tall as hell.
You were hovering over them short guys.
And listen, I realized that, you know, every now and then I pay attention to it. I said, you 6'2" for real. Like, yeah, I didn't know. Like, yeah. I forget.
You tall.
I didn't know. I forget.
NBA status.
But listen, think of everybody around me. You seen and you know my grandson. You done met my daughter. My daughter taller than me. My grandson taller than me. Daughter? my grandson taller than me. You met my sister friend Keisha the other night. She tall. So most of the people that are directly in my circle are tall people.
Okay.
But I didn't know. Why you ain't tell me I was tall?
Yeah, you tall. I mean, you come through there. You be looking. The other night I was at 7-Eleven. It was this tall chick came in, right? Now, if you didn't see her face, you swore up and down she's just a big dude.
Right.
Not, you know, she wasn't a stud or nothing like that. She was just a big female. Me personally, I don't go next to tall females. I be like,
I know you got an issue with that.
I ain't got an issue with it.
I know
but
you do.
I don't have an issue. However, I'm gonna be looking at you, and I just do not want. Why I'm looking at you like what? You looking down, and I'm looking up. Like yeah. But, so this chick, she was like security guard status. Like
okay,
you know, she wasn't fat.
She was just a big.
She was just a big female. She was like. She was like, the one that she running that, she regulating that relationship.
No, that's not true.
Hey, listen. When the dude say, because he have to be even larger and bigger to be bigger than that girl. No. She looked like the one that's sitting there. Like, look, man, you don't go sit your little self down and go in the kitchen and give me something to eat. Okay. I know it's a stereotype, but I'm going off of what I think when I see her.
Feelings. Those are your feelings.
You know what I'm saying? If she was my friend, then me and her will be sitting there laughing about, man, why you gonna do your guy like that?
So you would never date a woman taller than you?
Absolutely will.
Okay, I just needed to know.
I'm a leg and thigh guy.
Okay.
So, when I'm looking at legs and thighs, some of those long legs, not the little sticks, but some of them nice, thick, long legs, they're very attractive to me.
Like Venus and Serena?
A little on the feminine, a little, more feminine, but yes,
Okay. So you saw the woman walk in. So you saw the woman walk in at 7-Eleven. We back to the woman that walked in at 7-Eleven. Yeah. And when she turned around, she was just like she was taller than me.
Yeah, she was about your height, but it looked like she was a security guard.
Okay.
And she had on all black.
She might have been.
With some cargo pants, she might have been.
Oh, definitely. If she had on some jump pants, she was about that.
I'm like, man, goodness gracious, this type of chick right here, you just leave her alone. Because if one, you can't try to, be physical with her because she's a female. But then on the flip side of her being a female, if you just think you a bad dude and you get tossed up by a female, that's like a double L. But see, it's a double L.
So here's the thing, baby. I want y'all to know this.
Double L.
Even if the woman is bigger than the man, the way we're built and designed, we are not designed to overtake a man.
I get that. I understand completely. But if you're my friend, and I'm friends, we're going to have fun and we're going to laugh. And I'm going to definitely talk about that. Now, you might be the biggest, baddest looking chick. And when you go home, this little short dude know how to put you in check. Ooh. But when I'm around, we going to laugh at the little short dude. We gonna pick on him. You know what I'm saying? We gonna pick on him.
That little short fella knows something, though.
Yeah, he know why y'all over there laughing, Lavish. When I tell her to cut it out, she gonna cut it out.
He don't even have to say that.
He just give him the looks.
He don't even have to say nothing. That body language and that nonverbal communication comes into play. But you have to be so confident in yourself, because when you're smaller than a woman that you're dating,
I'm cool. I would be cool with that, because it'll just let me know, like, I take that big. That big girl down through there.
But that's how men. I
take her down through there.
That's the other part.
She might be big, but I take her down through there.
When men see a man and the woman is taller than him or bigger than him, that's what they be thinking. Like, damn, bro, I be taking her down through there. I wonder if I could.
Yeah. I be sitting there like, yeah.
But have you noticed that when you see a man and his woman bigger than him, how he just be sitting back chilling?
He be sitting back. Well, I done seen them both ways. I done seen some women that be bullying these little dudes, and I just be laughing.
Yeah, he might like that too.
He might like it. He might like it.
I ain't gonna say nothing.
You know.
He might like that.
Shoot, it's more cushion for the pushing. I
didn't listen. I done heard all that. Speaking of that, can I say this?
What's up?
I wasn't gonna talk about sex today.
Okay, well, I might as well though.
Okay, listen.
Did you have some?
No.
Oh.
I ain't saying it like it's a bad thing. No. I could have a back blowout 3000 if I wanted to, but I could have who you wish shut your ass up. But let me say this. Men, I'm trying to help you. First of all, you listen to the Lavish and Coco podcast. I need you to really know that. But even more important, and we're going to take a couple questions because I see the questions. Fellas, stop telling women what you're going to do to them sexually. Because when you don't, do what you said, they're looking at you with a smirk on their face. So this is the disrespect, and you all bring it on yourself.
So it's disrespectful to have high hopes?
No, not the hopes. Be quiet.
Okay.
Silence is power. So when men say, "Oh, I'm gonna take you down through there," oh, sir, listen, shut up. Because in the event that you can't or don't, you've built up an anticipation in our head, and when you can't fulfill that, we looking at you like, if you had shut up, everything you would have gave us would have been amazing, or it would have been enjoyable. But you talk so much, and if what you got is really that good, it will speak for itself. For instance, you talked about your grandmother.
I don't want to mention my grandmother. No, I'm in the same conversation, Coco.
Okay, I'm saying this. When somebody could really cook, and I'm talking about when your grandmother go in the kitchen and she would put the greens, macaroni and cheese, fried chicken, cornbread, she put all that stuff together. You knew by the smell from outside, this food about to slap, right?
Absolutely.
You knew it was going to, okay. I don't think your grandmother ever was like, "Oh, this food about to slap. Y'all gonna do this." They didn't. They went in the kitchen and they made that macaroni and cheese, and it was the same way all the time. Good as hell. Them greens, that fried chicken, that potato salad, that cornbread, and you knew when she said, "Lavish, go wash your face and your hands and come get your food," you knew you was about to go down.
I was about to go down. I got in trouble every time.
Did you?
Yeah, because it was so good. I would go. I'm a kid.
Right.
Dinner's ready. It smells so good. My appetite. I think that I'm gonna eat everything. And I used to get my grandfather's piece of chicken.
Oh my goodness.
And I wouldn't eat it all because I'm still a kid. Right. So I got a small stomach.
Right.
Oh man, my grandmother come back in the kitchen and she'll be super mad. Sometimes I get a whooping because I took my granddad's chicken, and you know that was for your granddaddy. You done took his chicken.
Yeah, you took the grown man piece of chicken.
And now I gotta get back in here. Or she'll just, depending on how she feels, hey, look, he done ate the chicken.
Yeah.
And my granddad be looking like, what? It was good. It was good. The only thing it was good. My grandfather, he wasn't a yeller.
Okay.
His yelling was quiet because he'll talk, but it's like that whisper talk.
Yeah, that you wish he would cuss you out, but
he won't talk. It's just more like a talking pause. Like his voice would go away, and it's just like,
yeah.
What you
do? Sometimes them worse than the cussing.
It was one of them. So I get how it's so good and anticipation, and it was so good. My grandfather came in the house and smelled that anticipation and was deprived because of his grandson.
So swing that over to, you knew it was gonna be good.
Yeah,
you knew that cornbread was gonna slap, them green. So it's the same thing with having sex.
Okay,
men, if you shut up and get a cornbread, macaroni and cheese, that fried chicken, the greens, the potato salad, the sweet potato pie. If you bring that silently and just show up with that plate sexually, you will get more returns than, this potato salad right here, I put the eggs in it. We don't want to hear that. Shut up.
What, Coco? Listen,
shut up.
I agree to some of it. I mean, just a tad bit, only because it's been times that the anticipation was there, and it was short-lived because the anticipation was just too there.
But you talk so when you keep talking about it, that's part of the dysfunction. When you keep talking about what you're gonna do, you just making yourself excited, and that's why the soldiers show up, but he can't march that far.
He didn't march far. And then the thing about it is, it's like, sometimes you be sitting there and you go from what when you were younger.
Yeah. That don't work.
So the roles come, it flip. when you're younger, you boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. You like, come on, let's go. And the girl like, look, man, you ain't about to be jumping up on me like that.
You're not.
So now when the roles get reversed, you might get that and then you gotta struggle and fight maybe to go again.
Like how many licks it take to the center of the right. Oh, 1.
And she like, 2. Dude, what's the problem? You like, listen, man, I need a minute. I need a second.
Yeah.
I need more than 20 minutes. Let me run to the store and come back. Because they ready. They like, oh man, you gotta keep on.
But that's when the conversation, that's when you have to be a conversation. That's when the conversation gotta come in. And I say this, you have to be able to talk through some things. So if you show up and it's like bat, 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 and you unload the clip and you ain't hit nobody, then you gotta be like, listen, give me a second. And you gotta pull her in to kind of seeing things your way or seeing things a way that'll be satisfying to you both.
Yeah.
But I'm tired of the ones that be like, yeah, I'm gonna blow your back out.
See me, I'm like on some machine gun type of stuff, right? But I want to say this. It plays a part mentally too, to be able to, have that rapid fire. Because you can have that single shot with just something that you just want to, get a shot off on.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay. But when you got that mental thing going, now you're not just wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. You can
finesse it
and come back, cuddle, caress, kick it, bond. That intimacy level is always gonna be there.
And you could return.
And you can return it. And it goes back and forth where you might get 3.
You might get an invite for some real macaroni and cheese and greens and cornbread. You might get that big piece of chicken that you've been trying to get.
But I gotta say this, Coco. I gotta say this. Women, they gotta quit selling themselves. Because they sell themselves. They oversell themselves, Coco. And I'm being honest with you. I can speak from my old life. From my old life. Listen, they say this. I'm juicy. I'm like a peach. I'm this. No, you're not. You're dry.
Uh-oh.
You're like a swamp. I've been there. Ooh. They didn't, I can do this and they can't do none of that. They talk about they can do some riding. Listen, I've been in situations, right?
I'm so mad with you right now.
I'm saying, cause I've been in situations where I done sat there. Listen, women are not the only ones to fake some stuff. It's been a couple times where I'm just like, oh man, okay. I'm about to.
That's a damn shame.
Just because
y'all listen to Lavish and Coco podcast. You heard it here, folks.
I'm just saying.
Men fake the funk too.
You doggone right. Cause I just want to finish it. Because I'm like, listen, this is so horrible. I'm ready to go, man. Look, you done psyched me up. Listen, I done had a female in my old life. This is my old life. I done sat there, nice body. Everybody with a body, it's just like a car. You don't even know what to do with it. You got equipment you can't even use. So here we go.
I'm finna fall out right now.
Coco, you get somebody on you. Well,
yeah,
yeah. I know. It ain't none of this up and down. It ain't none of this low motion stuff. You sitting there, and she like got the Harlem Shake, and you just laying there like, what are you doing? Then it's been situations where you like this in the beginning,
right?
She on top of you, and he just like, dog, man, I'm trying to get up out of here, Lavish. Well, I mean, what we doing here?
So what's one of the I don't know how we got on this street. You listen to the Lavish and Coco podcast.
Didn't they hit you with the? Well, I'm not used to this, and I never had a problem before. That's because they ain't verbal like me. You're trash. You garbage. Listen, I'm just saying. I can't say it like that. I just be like, well, what you need to do, you need to do this.
If you like her, do you have a dialogue with her?
Yeah, I'd be like, listen, let's watch some porn together because I'm into porn real heavy. Oh. That's like my silent break. Like, let's, because I'm really telling you, see what they're doing. So you can be like, oh, I had to try that. Yeah, you should try. You should try it.
I hate porn.
I like it.
I hate it.
I like it. I mean, because some of that stuff on there.
Listen.
Some of the moves.
In all of my. Oh, okay. If
I wasn't where I'm at now and people know Lavish, like.
You'll be a porn star.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, social media didn't take off like this. And I know that I didn't have to go somewhere where my mother is at and they be looking, or if my mother, I don't know, her and her husband, they can be watching porn. I don't want them to be flipping through the channel and they like,
pop up.
I'll pop up.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. I don't like this house. Let me out. I'm finna go home.
I don't want that to happen.
I understand.
But if social media wasn't like this and people can just click your name.
Thank God.
Yeah, I'd be a porn star. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
The very first time I had sex, I was 18. I was out of high school.
You was a late bloomer, huh?
I wasn't a late bloomer. I mean, I'm really into how you make me feel mentally.
Okay.
I'm a thinker. Sometimes I'm too intense with my thinking, and I just it was like, oh, okay, and it wasn't like I couldn't have did it or could have did it or whatever. I just didn't. It wasn't nothing that just made me say, oh, okay.
Okay.
Anyway, and I fast forward from there to now, and it's like, to be totally honest, I might have watched in the whole porn magazines or whatever, I might have looked in the couple, because my cousins and them had the magazines. I might have looked at 3 pictures, no, let's say 5 pictures, and altogether maybe a total of 5 movies. And not all the way through. Because I would always start laughing.
Well, Coco, I don't think the porns was really made to watch all the way through.
I know, but see,
you get your little scene. Oh, yeah, that's it right there.
But then you just hear me say, I'm a thinker.
You're a thinker.
So I'm the person that's thinking. And I'm like,
Erica, why you see me so different now? She says she see me so different right now.
But I don't. And let me say this. Shout out to my ex that reached out to me. Reached out to me on Saturday. To tell me that you were in town, and I was like, hey, I'm getting ready to go. I got to work. Where you working at? I may want to. No, I'm not going. If you don't know where I'm working based on social media, I'm not finna tell you. Because I'm not finna have you standing in the corner.
He probably wanted that old thing back.
No, you're not finna stand in the corner and look at me like you socially delayed.
Okay.
And he's very socially awkward. And he tell me, I just want to see you while I'm in town. I don't care about you being in town. I don't care.
He wanted that old thing back.
No, his conversation was that old thing.
Okay, you move forward from that, and that happens with life.
He's a 60-year-old man, and he's still stuck in Pony Down, Top Tens, Earl Flynn's, and all that stuff like that. And I know he on Facebook because he made a point to tell me, I got my kids and my grandkids made me get a Facebook page. I don't give a damn if Mickey Mouse made you get it. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm glad you're doing okay, but I really don't have a desire to inform you of where I am and all that. So I needed to say that because I know you probably listen. And if not, you might have your sister or somebody listening because that's what you do. And I just need to say that. Ooh, I said that real strong.
Coco, you ever and I'm just curious, man. Nope. You ain't never did a video?
What?
You ain't never did it. I'm just that's I take that as a yes.
No,
not
at all.
Never.
I took a picture.
Did you take it? Let me hear this story.
And then we finna go. Because I'm not finna get.
So you took a picture for a guy. You sent him that's what we call it, a flick. Did you send him a flick?
No. So
you never sent the flick.
In 1992.
They didn't have camera phones.
Listen,
back then.
no, they didn't.
They had the 35 or the 110.
They had the Polaroid.
Yeah.
With the back on it.
Okay.
So I took a picture.
The Polaroid picture. That's old school.
With my face covered up. I did because
I'm listening, Coco.
I started comedy in 91, and I've always known all my life that I would have a very non-traditional career. Okay. I knew my gift was people. God showed me that a long time ago. I knew my gift was people, and I didn't know where I would wind up. So I didn't ever want this picture to show back up.
All right.
So I'm laying in the bed, sexy as hell, like I'm a vixen, baby. What? My body was greased up. I looked like a new penny. When I tell you I was slick, I was like a catfish. He had oiled me up and everything. He said, okay, wait a minute. I said, I grabbed the pillow off the bed and covered my face up with it. I swear to peaches. I covered my face. Why are you laughing? When I say I covered my face up, I covered my whole face up. And he took the picture and he kept trying to get me to take the pillow off my face. I said, I ain't gonna take the pillow off my face. So fast forward.
Yeah.
Years later, I'm coming out the Penobscot building.
All right.
And I'm walking out the building. So this had to be like 98, about 6 years later. I'm walking out the building and I'm going to my vehicle. And we parked in the parking structure, but I had snuck and parked in the parking lot. Anyway, so I'm walking out the building and this guy walks up to me and he was like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, hey, how you doing? He said, you remember so-and-so? And I'm not, if you walk up to me and start asking me, do I remember somebody? If I don't know you, I ain't saying nothing. I said, I don't know. I know a few people with that name. He said, well, this is what he said.
What'd he say?
He said, well, I know you remember him because I saw a picture of you in his locker, right?
Player, hater.
So I adjusted myself because I knew whatever picture I took, my face was covered up. So I said, you saw a picture of me naked in his locker? He said, yeah. I said, I'm just curious. That could have been anybody. He told me, nah, it was you. He said, my boy ain't got no reason to lie. I said, well, the fact that you said it's your boy and y'all not men, I don't know. So he gets a little defensive.
Okay.
We on Congress, standing like near the alley. I said, well, why are you tripping? I said, have you ever seen me naked? I saw the picture. And he told me it was you. I said, I don't know who you are. I don't know who you're talking about. I don't know what picture you're talking about. Whose face was on the picture? Wasn't no face on the picture. So now he assumes the position in his body language like he wanted to do something.
Like, what was his purpose?
Okay. So when he got in the position like he wanted to do something, I got into the position like, okay, let me make sure that whatever I finna do from this point is gonna play out real good because I'm about to shut all this down. So one of my friends was walking down the street heading to the building and he stopped for a minute. He was like, hey, how you doing? And he kind of looked at the guy and the guy was like, yeah, your girl tripping. I'm telling her. So he started telling one of my other male friends that work with me at the radio station, your girl tripping, because I was telling her I saw a picture of her neck. And he was like, whoa, man, that's too much.
Right.
So the guy immediately like, tell my boy what you want to do. And I'm thinking, sir, you don't even want this smoke.
You don't want that smoke.
So he started arguing with my boy. My boy's like, man, I don't even know you, da-da-da, boom, 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 da-da-da, all of that. So the guy eventually, after he figured out that he was finna get laid out, what's Biggie line? It's gonna be some slow singing and some flower bringing.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what was his purpose of that.
So I don't know his purpose.
Oh, okay.
And I knew he worked with the person who had took the picture. I knew all of that. But why are you as a grown-ass man, okay, I'm mad with the guy that showed you the picture. My face wasn't on the picture. And why, out of all the things to say, you telling me you saw a picture of me naked?
No, that's... Yeah. Some dudes whack.
I know.
That's whack.
Women be whack too.
I mean, I know women be whack because, like me.
How many pictures have you taken?
I don't do all that.
Okay. He said,
no, I'm not saying I never did, but like, because I listen to a lot. I come from a female family.
Okay.
So as soon as they meet a dude, they're telling me, man, I met this dude yesterday. He sent me this picture. So I listen to all of that. So I never do that. Now, the person that I'm sexually involved with, have I done it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but
I've always wanted them to wake up and have a morning surprise and smile when they see a blessing. I always like that.
But see, that means that you got something to look at.
That's definitely something to look at.
Because it's, I'm going to say this, and when I say this.
I'm just saying.
Listen. Okay. You know, you heard of catfishing, right?
Yeah.
Where you meet somebody.
There's no catfishing over here.
No, listen. So it's catfishing.
Hatfishing.
It's hatfishing. And it's dick fishing.
Oh, okay.
It's men that have sent me pictures. And when I actually saw it,
Like, this ain't the picture right here.
It wasn't a junk.
This now that's weird.
That you really weird.
That's weird.
One guy sent me a picture, and I wanted to see the real thing.
So he's like, man, whip that thing out real quick.
Listen, and so the picture he sent me, it was all one. I ain't gonna be graphic. It was just smooth, all one color, everything. When he pulled that joint out, it looked like Neapolitan ice cream. It was pink. It was brown.
He had that picture down there.
He had all kind of stuff going on. And I said, so I had my picture, and I said, this ain't you? I mean, yes, that is me. I said, no, sir.
This ain't, I know what I'm looking at.
Sir,
this ain't you.
I am a ologist.
Oh, yeah?
I was a nurse. You got to understand that.
Okay, put the nurse on there, but it still don't stop you from being sexually fluid.
You know how many of them things I done seen. Listen. I don't know if you ever been in a hospital, but you've heard of a catheter where they have to come in and put that tube in your penis.
So you got to grab the penis.
But
grab many of them in your life.
I have.
I know.
But it's listen. And men be so tough. I be like, sir, listen, we're going to have to put a catheter in you. Well, whatever, it's whatever. And if they got a big junk, they be real tough. But look at my hands now. I want y'all to see my hands. So imagine this hand grabbing your junk, because I got to hold it.
Okay.
I got to lay everything out. It got to be sterile. So I got your junk, and then I got the tube, and I'm threading the tube down to open it. And they like, I say, okay, listen. On the count of 3, I need you to take a deep breath. 1, 2, 3. And I slide it in. I was quick. Blow the balloon up and everything. They be like, you threw. It hurt. You threw. I be like, you was tough 7 minutes ago. Now you done folded like a house of cards. Shut your punk ass up. I'm sorry. Where we at?
Oh man, we gotta come to an end. So long story short, ever since the 90s, that traumatized you to the point where you never sent another flick.
Listen,
never. So you never got out the shower, said, let me send this to the old buddy.
No.
And you never just sat there and did one of these. Never took a picture. Never tooted it up, took it from the back.
No, listen.
Never lifted them thighs and shot it from the bottom.
I got.
All right, I'm just asking, Coco.
I got a George Foreman burn on my left breast.
Okay.
From a George Foreman grill.
Them things dropped that low to hit the grill?
Listen, my grill was here and I leaned.
Why the grill up here?
Because that's how my counters was.
Coco, you already tall. So how tall is these counters?
Help me
make it make sense.
I lived in the loft. My counters was here. So I'm naked and I'm reaching up. All
right, so you cooking naked, all right?
I was watching basketball.
Was someone there?
No. No. I was watching basketball, put a turkey burger on. I hadn't seasoned it. I was kind of buzzing. And I went to season it, and my whole nana slid into the George Foreman grill.
That's a big nana to slide into the grill.
One day I'm going to take a picture and post it. So I got a George Foreman grill on my hookup. Then I got a scar on my butt where I was on a hood box spring. I was in the hood bed, and the mattress had a hole in the springs was coming up, and I was scooting, and it cut my booty. So I got identifiable scars if I've ever shared that.
But I mean, only people that have seen it know what it is.
I'm not finna take no pictures.
Do you think that your closest family ain't sending them pictures out?
What pictures?
Any pictures? Not of you or them.
I don't know what my family did.
Do you think that people ain't doing that?
I know they do it, but I'm not doing it.
Man, Dave-O said he want to date with you, Coco.
Dave-O?
That's his name.
Dave-O, what's your story? Slide in my DM. Give me some info, baby.
She said he want to date with Coco.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Holler at me, Dave-O.
Robin, you ain't sending no pictures. She said, I have tattoos. I'm not sending nothing. And I'm looking at her profile. She's sending them. She got a little cleavage. She's sending them. Look at that, Coco.
No, I know. Hey, Robin, what's up?
Them.
No, I don't think so.
She don't think she's sending them?
No, I think the tattoos are too identifiable.
No, she sent to that right person. She is definitely sending them.
I don't think so.
I'm telling you, she's sending them.
I didn't have the right person. I ain't sending nothing. Now, I send them when I get cute with the eyelashes on, but I ain't sending you the hot dot bop bop. I ain't sending you the gop 3000 picture.
Well, you got Curly that said, we know she don't shave that big wolf pussy.
You know what?
I'm just saying. You said it on your last podcast.
I said it again.
You said it. I'm just saying what he said.
So listen.
Dave-O was 34, but what you gonna say to Curly?
Curly, I need you to understand this.
He a Highland Park guy too. That's one of your people.
Okay, Curly, listen. If you know anybody that has ever been around me, because I haven't shaved in years. There's no need for me to shave.
It's need for you to shave, Coco.
No,
Trust me.
Have you ever smelt me?
No, don't want to. You don't shave.
It don't stink though. If a woman ain't clean,
bull crap.
If a woman ha stink, you can smell it through her pants. You can smell it when you get, and Lavish, we've been close. I done got up, sat out. You'd have been in the dressing room with me when I was getting ready to work. You ain't gonna smell my tail.
We were in the dressing room clothed.
I know, but you're not gonna smell my tail.
I'm just saying, because the way you just said it was like we was in the dressing room, naked, running around there.
I don't have no. I mean, I might have been because I don't have no problem showing my body. I don't wear panties. Let's put that out there. And I don't shave. Let's put that out there.
You just Western wilding it out, huh?
Yeah, I'm like how I was, how I'm supposed to be. Now, y'all keep shaving and skinning yourself. And I don't trust a man that be shaving and waxing either, because all you doing is all you doing is cutting your grass to make your tree look bigger.
Absolutely not. Just making it smooth so you can lick where the hair was growing.
Listen.
I like that. All that.
I'm 60. I done been drunk and had my wig in my face, so I'm sure that I can do that. I could blow some hair and some lint out like, because I'm going to be doing it like this and see what's in it anyway. I'll be scratching it. Nah, play with me.
All right, nah. Well, listen, you've been watching the Lavish and Coco podcast. Sure. We didn't even get to talk about the Black Spirits. We're going to have to say that for some clips.
Yeah, we're going to have to put them clips up.
Yeah, we're going to have to put them clips up, man. So I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in, watching this podcast. And we shall see you again next Tuesday, 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Lavish and Coco podcast.
Yeah. Follow us on social media. I'm Ginger Hudson on Facebook. I am Coco the Comic on Instagram or whatever. Make sure you follow us because Lavish going to post some pictures and some videos from the stuff that we've done over the last week. The Black Spirits Legacy event, which is a great, great event of black liquor owners, distributors, and all that stuff like that. And all that stuff. Lavish, I love you.
Oh, I love you too, Coco.
Y'all should see how his face light up. I like it.
Yeah.
Hey, Davo, holla at me. Curly, get at me.
She want that little young 34-year-old.
I want you run them pockets.
Now, how you know he got something to run? How you know he ain't trying to run your pockets? I'm just saying. It's not about the finance. It's about the love. It's about the connection. I don't want to hear that. The show is over.
Listen, he's 34 years old.
He's 34 years old. He's full of life.
I can introduce him to my daughter, though.
I ain't going to comment because your daughter know what time it is.
Lavish, are you serious?
I'm just saying. I'm not going to comment on that, man. Listen, keep
you think she cute? Ooh. My daughter is fine, though.
We have gotten to go.
Okay, let's go.
Robin said she had a ball on Saturday. Of course, she was there with me. I mean, why wouldn't she have a ball? I was right there. Come on now, Robin. I'm telling you.
Thank you, Robin.
Yeah, Robin, she right there. Power.
Peace out.
Till the next time.